Today is a great day in the culture war. My friends, we have a tremendous victory from Fox Business. Bud Light parent company stock downgraded by HSBC amid branding crisis and huge sales drop. The news broke yesterday evening. I am covering it now today, as of course last night was the Donald Trump CNN debate. Donald Trump was debating CNN, in case you missed it. But this is a tremendous victory. Bud Light, Anheuser Busch needed only apologize. A simple couple of sentences. And they refused. They said that you were so stupid that they were going to ignore the problem, do nothing, keep it internal. Now, sales have dropped consistently over the past month to such a degree that HSBC has downgraded their stock. Oh boy, this may in fact precipitate a decline in their stock. But let me break this down for you, and we'll give you more updates on what's happening with the Bud Light boycott. Fox Business reports HSBC has downgraded Anheuser Busch InBev stock to hold amid a crisis following Bud Light's marketing campaign featuring transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney. Carlos Laboy, managing director at HSBC's global beverage sector, told CNBC that there are deeper problems than ABI admits after the social media partnership with Mulvaney in April. Is ABI's leadership getting the brand culture transformation right? It's mixed. So let's break this down. I am no stockbroker nor financial advisor, so don't come to me for advice. But you have buy, hold, and sell. InBev before was buy. They said, this is the biggest company. Bud Light's the best brand. You got to buy. Now they're saying, hold. They're scared. I think the hold sign actually will participate a sell-off. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a financial guy. But the way I see it is, after a month of declining sales, and now you've got somebody who's holding, they say the stock is a buy. They're like, buy it now. It's dropping. It's going to go back up, whatever they're saying, right? You got people who had already bought in for a couple $1,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Maybe you're Trump. Maybe you have a million. You're not buying anymore. You've already got your Anheuser Busch. Now the stock is stagnant. Dropped a little bit, actually. You're losing money. Go stagnant. Now they're saying, hold. Don't buy anymore. Now I got to wonder if people are going, whoa. What do you mean? If nobody buys, it's going to go down. If nobody's buying this stock and then anybody sells, because they will, maybe on the weekend they want to clear some cash, it's going to drop. I better sell it now before everybody else does. Uh-oh. This is a major cultural moment. This signal could precipitate a domino fall for Anheuser Busch. If you are holding stock right now and someone says it's not letting up, they could sell off. If they do, your stock drops. And then eventually someone's left holding an empty bag. I don't know for sure. If people think Anheuser Busch is the place to be, is the thing to buy, then you go ahead and do it, right? Don't look at me. I'm not a financial guy. I don't know. It just sounds to me like this story suggests there could be a domino collapse of the Anheuser Busch stock, dropping it down substantially. I'll say it again. If there's somebody who's got $1 million, $5 million in stock, I think they were reporting Trump had like $1 million in stock. If he's like, I don't want to be holding this, I'm getting bad press, it's a bad investment, and he dumps his stock, price goes down. If people see price going down, and HSBC is saying not to buy, they're not saying sell, they're saying don't buy, it ain't coming back, baby. Quote, at AmBev, we think the answer is yes. In the U.S., we think it's no. The way this Bud Light crisis came about a month ago, management's response to it, and the loss of unprecedented volume and brand relevance raises many questions, Laboy continued. Laboy cited a beer marketer's insight note, which reported a drop in beer sales of possibly over 25% in April. Why did its U.S. leadership underestimate the risk of pushback given the recent experience of other firms? Is AB hiring the best people to grow the brand and gauge risk? The analyst added. If Budweiser and Bud Light are iconic American ideas that have long brought consumers together, why did these marketers fail to invite new consumers without alienating the core base of the firm's largest brand? AmBev is a Brazilian brewery also owned by Anheuser Busch InBev. In the first 3 weeks of April, sales in the U.S. of Bud Light dropped to the equivalent of 1% of the company's global volume for that time period. Sales of Bud Light in retail stores also fell by 21.4% in the week ending April 22nd, when compared to the same time last year. In comparison, Coors Light and Miller Lite saw their sales increase nearly 21%. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. I don't want to do any of that. I'm just saying it looks like people are dumping their stock in Anheuser Busch InBev, and they're buying stock in Coors Light, Miller Lite. They say that in hard times, the one thing you can count on is alcohol. Because when people are happy, they drink, and when they're sad, they drink. So it seems like it makes sense. People are going to want to have some of their money in an alcohol beverage company. I don't think that company right now is Anheuser Busch. The situation has impacted our people, and especially our frontline workers, the delivery drivers, sales reps, our wholesalers, Bud owners, and servers, AB InBev CEO Michael DeCara said on an earnings call. Wow. And right now, what is Fox News saying? 4,200 people are reading this article as I read it myself. Oh boy. It's getting bad. It's getting bad, and we're winning that Bud Light fight. I don't even know if an apology will cut it. And I've been saying this again. They could have apologized. They chose not to. Well, that's on them now. They're being boycotted by gay bars in Chicago, which is likely going to spread. And Bud Light has become the beer of homosexual men. And I always try to preface this. I'm not saying that to disparage anybody. I'm just saying Bud Light is now synonymous with being a homosexual. And I mean that in the factual basis, literal sense, I'm not trying to be derisive or anything like that. You know, some people might be like, he's just trying to insult people. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying with the cast of the Book of Mormon going, thank you, Bud Light, and cracking beers and drinking it, and Dylan Mulvaney, you will now be perceived to be a leftist homosexual man if you drink this beer. This is what we're seeing on the street. This is what we're seeing outside. Nobody wants to drink it because they don't want to be associated with it. And that's powerful. It sends a big message. We have this story from Outkick. Dylan Mulvaney claims he's having trouble sleeping after Bud Light disaster. Dylan Mulvaney responded to the backlash against him by claiming he can't sleep at night. Mulvaney and Bud Light have been facing intense scrutiny, this we know. The backlash was swift, this we understand. It's true, I'm having trouble sleeping, Mulvaney claimed to the Dear Schuyler podcast. The trans activist and social media personality further reacted to the criticism and added, in a weird way, it has been a blessing to sort of break that break that people-pleasing mentality because there's no way of winning those people over. Incredibly, Dylan Mulvaney is talking about everyone. There's no way to win over everyone. It's regular people at Fenway Park who are not buying Bud Light. Let me tell you how the internet works, my friends. Ocasio-Cortez is not a prominent personality. She's famous, but in the true sense of this country, she is not relevant to the average person. Here's what happens online. Let's say in every city there is one person who would like Ocasio-Cortez. In the real world, they don't have meetings, they don't meet up, they don't protest, they're one person. Online, they all congregate. In physical reality, it's difficult to find large portions of the population who will stand shoulder to shoulder cheering, yay, AOC. Online, you can find them spat all over the country, and they can come together in a digital space, seemingly standing next to each other. That's what's going on with Dylan Mulvaney. If you brought Dylan Mulvaney out to, I love this example, MGM National Harbor. The reason I do is because it's a major entertainment center in a major metropolitan area. You've got the National Harbor Pier with the Ferris wheel and the restaurants. There's a big casino and shopping center and steakhouse. And everybody in the D.C. area and tourists are in this place. Or we could say Times Square, whatever. But, I live in the D.C. area, so that's what I say. Dylan Mulvaney in this place would be booed and jeered. Regular people would be like, what is this? This weird, psychotic Audrey Hepburn male performance is off-putting. It's nails on a chalkboard to the average person. But online, to the zombie horde of NPCs, they just do whatever they're told to do. So I'd put it this way. As I put it to Lance from the Surfs when we had him on the show, shout out. If you went to National Harbor and loudly proclaimed your views, would anyone agree with you? And he said, no, probably not. But this is an urban, liberal center. And you don't think these people would agree with you? You are in a cult. I love it. So Dylan Mulvaney is saying, I can't win these people over. You're talking about average people, regular people in this place. They would all be like, nah, what is this? I'm not doing that. Get out of here with that. And that's the point. Mulvaney may have 10 million followers, but that is a microscopic fraction of people compared to the general public. Now, you take someone like, let's name Taylor Swift, even Kanye West, despite all of the weird political stuff. You bring Kanye West out in the public, the average person's cheering for him, despite the things he says. And that's kind of a problem, you know. But he came back out and later, what did he say? He watched Jonah Hill and now he likes Jewish people. Oh, jeez. This is what they say. They say that Timcast is an extremist far-right podcast, despite the fact that I'm like a pro-choice traditional liberal, because they're in a cult, because they've lost their minds. So when my opinions are reflected in polling by regular people, if you go to independent voters and on average, and you ask them about political opinions, yeah, strong overlap with me. Yet for some reason, the people in the media say that my opinions are extremist. They're saying that about everyone, about regular Americans. It's a cult. Mulvaney has been relatively silent since the blow-up, also claimed he's attempting to have grace with the situation, saying, quote, but the people who are targeting us right now, I love it, us. I'm trying to find grace for them because I know that this was planted from something else. And I can only hope that they will see the beauty and the humanity and the importance of an identity and not try to strip that away, he explained. Dylan Mulvaney, I think, is an evil person. I genuinely believe that. But I don't believe Dylan Mulvaney is maliciously evil. I believe that Dylan Mulvaney is the banality of evil. You have an individual who is doing whatever necessary to be famous. It is more of dominoes falling over than intentional acts. AOC, on the other hand, I think is maliciously evil. I believe, she's trying to get an innocent man, a good Samaritan, put in prison right now, despite evidence proving trying to save someone's life, because she's evil, intentionally and maliciously evil. She fabricated a fake story about January 6th for political power because she is maliciously evil. Dylan Mulvaney, the banality of evil. Dylan Mulvaney, I don't believe to be a person of great intellect. Dylan Mulvaney made a post on TikTok, and TikTok's algorithm decided we're going to make this famous. And now Dylan Mulvaney isn't smart enough to understand what's going on. Dylan Mulvaney propagates an evil and corrupt system. That's just reality. And I'm not saying Dylan Mulvaney is going like, yeah, I'm going to destroy the world. I'm saying that Dylan Mulvaney is a product of the algorithmic crisis, which is death, destruction, and chaos. The banality of evil. They say, well, Mulvaney might want to offer his spin of the situation. Anheuser Busch is doing its best to distance itself from the situation. Yes. This we understand. But it's spreading. Take a look at this story from Timcast.com. Bud Light boycott is spreading to other Anheuser Busch brands. Company may be in a no-win situation as gay bars are ditching Anheuser Busch beer. Adrian Norman writes for Timcast.com. Over the same time period this year, Bud Light's competitor saw a boost in their sales. But as more people learn of the other beverages held in Anheuser Busch's portfolio, the fallout from the backlash over Bud Light's partnership is now spreading to other beer products. The St. Louis Business Journal reported the following numbers. Budweiser is down 11.4%. Michelob Ultra, 4.4%. Busch Light, 1.8%. Natty Light, 5.2%. If you're in college, if you're some frat bro, Bud Light says they don't like you. So you show up and you're like, let's get some beers for the party. Normally you'd grab Natty Light or something, just some garbage beer that gets you drunk, or Bud Light. Now you walk in and you won't buy it because you don't want people to think you're gay. I mean, that's really funny, isn't it? They don't understand. These regular frat bro dudes, these regular young guys in their 20s, they're still wearing t-shirts and baseball caps. They're still trying to pick up chicks at the bar. The weirdo cultists and people like Dylan Mulvaney live in the internet world of furries and otherkin and gender ideology. Go out to a college bar, and I'll tell you what you're going to see. Young women scantily clad, trying to hook up with guys, and guys trying to impress the girls. And no guy is going to intentionally try and make himself look gay when trying to pick up a woman, unless you're dealing with that weird trope of the guy who pretends to be gay to pick up a chick, which is just not real. Doesn't happen. The dudes are going to want to go to a bar and want to be impressive and fun and not be seen as effeminate and weak. Now, the left can say it all day and night. They can try and talk about how women want a sensitive guy or something like that. No, they don't. Some do, most don't. Women want confident men, charming, collected, kind, but assertive. This is a misconception from so many of these incels, that women want a guy who's going to walk up to them and spit on him and insult them. No, they want a guy who's going to be strong and prove he's a good provider and protector. He's going to bring you a beer. He's going to sit down and he's going to be like, tell me about yourself. And she's going to say, well, I don't like that necklace. And be like, well, I love this necklace. What don't you like about it? The common thing is women will say something, and if the guy is demure and weak and says, you're so pretty, that's unattractive. She wants a guy who's going to be like, I know what I like. I know why I like it. He's going to be like, I'm not drinking Bud Light. You want me to look like some weirdo in here? Nobody's drinking that stuff. And she's going to be like, well, that's bigoted. I don't care. I don't like it. I'm not going to drink it. That's impressive. I got to tell you. I just got to say. There are a lot of these guys who pretend to be male feminists to try and get laid. And it works for a lot of them. Don't get me wrong. But I tell you, I'm not going to speak for every single woman, but at least in many of these scenarios, it is unappealing to be a weak, pathetic, effeminate male feminist. I mean, just go and look at it. I mean, it's funny that we have these stereotypes and these tropes, yet the left would try and deny their reality. Every joke has its truth, and there's a reason why we come up with these tropes. Now, they're not always correct. Like Asians being good at math is not because Asians are genetically predisposed to being good at math. It's because there is a culture that developed where Asian parents are very strict with education. That's it. That's it. Any white person or black person or Latino person could be the exact same way. It's just cultural. But that's why the stereotype exists, cultural reasons. And for those cultural reasons, I'm telling you, you are likely not going to see college-age dudes buying Bud Light. And for the most part, they probably don't care. I think most people don't care. It's only 20% down, meaning 1 in 5 will buy it and doesn't care. I'm just saying it's significant. It's spreading to their other brands. And here we go. Look at this. We're here for that. Levi's CEO says it's growing its gender neutral line because there is definitely consumer appetite for that when asked about Bud Light's Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. I don't wear Levi's. They're like the worst jeans ever. And aren't Levi's starts like the OG blue jeans? I don't wear any of that garbage. They suck. No, for real, like they don't fit very well and they're stiff. You know what I like wearing? And I'm not saying it's a better brand or anything. I don't know. Maybe they're woke too. I like Volcom. I got Volcom jeans. I've always worn them because I'm a skater. I think I'm wearing a Volcom shirt right here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, a Volcom shirt. And the jeans that I'm wearing are like it's blue jean, 1% spandex. So they got some give, some stretch. So when you skate, you get better range than the stiff garbage denim of Levi's. But I'll tell you this, I got no problem boycotting that garbage product. And I do wear blue jeans. But play the game, Levi's. Play the game. Nike, I've never been a fan of. Levi's, I won't buy either. Get woke, go broke. There was a card shop, a game shop near me when I was in Jersey. They put up that far left psycho flag, signifying Antifa or whatever. I'm not going to that place. It's a cult symbol. You might as well put a swastika on your building. Now, of course, if you're in the cult, you're offended by that statement. But I don't think anybody who actually understands what a cult is and is outside the cult would disagree. They're just two extremist ideologies. I'm not interested in being around any of them. You got a sickle and a hammer? Not interested. You got a swastika? Not interested. You got the pride flag with the triangle and the circle and all that other weird stuff? I ain't going anywhere near your business because you're in a cult and you are dangerous, violent people. And I see it even in West Virginia, but I'll steer clear of it. I don't care. Y'all can't shame me. They try and do that thing. Why are you so obsessed with people's genitals? Bro, your words mean nothing. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Okay, I will tell you how I feel, and how I feel I am fine with feeling that way. And I've always been that way. So Levi's, and any other company that wants to embrace this, I don't care. Do it. I'm not going to buy your product. That's how I've always felt. If Anheuser Busch wants to double down and spit in my face, I will not buy Anheuser Busch products. And now it looks like their stock is going to tank because they got downgraded. And it looks like the people who hold that stock are going to lose a lot of money. And if they want to, fine. I don't care. They can do whatever they want. But keep playing that game. Keep playing that game. Good luck. I wish you the best. I got no beef. I'm out. We buy Yuengling now. Not like we ever bought Bud Light in the first place. We would buy craft local brewery beers as it was. But, you know, we bought Bud Light not that long ago. I think we were doing like a barbecue. We had the 4th of July coming up. Oh, this is going to be so sweet. I want to stress it. The 4th of July is coming, my friends. We're about 2 months away. Let us make sure we remind all of our friends, do not buy any Anheuser Busch beer for the 4th of July. If you're on the East Coast, Yuengling is a delicious beer. And they posted a photograph of someone holding a beer with an American flag. That's a beer for you. Oldest brewery in this country. How about that? Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.